Hey, what's going on, family? My name is Tyler,
And it's Daryl checking in.
and this is Uncharted Mind, right? The show about life, health, and wealth. We got a special guest for y'all, man. We talk about health, but there's more than one aspect of health, right? Mental, physical, and spiritual, right? And I'm sure there's many subcategories, but today we're going to talk a little bit about the physical side, as far as like nutrition, and diets and stuff like that. We have a guest who's been in that field for a while. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but he has plenty of skin in the game, man. As far as the topic, and it's gonna be a good one, man. It's gonna be one for the books, man. So y'all stay strapped, tune in, pay attention, take notes, and get ready, man. All right, so without further ado, Mr. Glenn, can you introduce yourself to the people?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Glen Williams. I am a health and wellness director on Fort Carson at the Army Wellness Center. Hope you guys have been there or through the Army Wellness Center at different locations. We got about 32 locations around the military, so it should be trying to get one on every single military installation, to include Air Force, Navy, Marines, things like that. So we're trying to make it worldwide.
Okay. All right. So where you from? Where did you say you were from?
Originally, myself, I'm from Washington, D.C.
D.C. Okay.
Most of my
Chocolate
family
City.
lives in Louisville. Yep, Chocolate City. Started there, grew up there. I went to college in North Carolina, HBCU, North Carolina Central University. Homecoming's going on right now.
Definitely. Shout out to the
Playing
city.
Baltimore today.
State.
Okay.
Okay.
Like I said, I played football for North Carolina Central University Division II. Had
Okay.
dreams like everybody else of going to the NFL,
Yeah.
but got down to the HBCU and took advantage of all the festivities and all the black college this, black college that, and
Definitely.
one day found myself on academic probation. Some people have that story,
Of course.
and just took that option. Well, military pays every month. That was my thinking.
Gotcha.
And ended up joining 25 years later. Like I say, it worked out for me. Military worked out for me pretty good.
Okay. All right. So that's dope. You say you play football. I gotta ask, man. I'm a huge football fan. Never played really. I played like a half of a summer a summer camp, and then I realized it wasn't for me. Right.
Yeah.
So what position did you play when you played football?
Oh man, I was that guy. I played wide receiver, tight end, linebacker, defensive end, trying to do it all. Just
all around.
That all world athlete. Okay.
Yeah.
But you got to have a mentor. If I can say that to anybody, get a mentor as early as you can, because I was kind of out there, thinking I was the man, ready to go to the NFL, and just didn't do what I was supposed to do. Didn't go through the process. Didn't want to put in the work.
Gotcha. No, that's definitely important, man. And I read something a while back that said mentors are, they're there to shortcut the mistakes that you would make, had you not had one, right?
Yeah.
So mentors are definitely
pulling your coattail. That's what you
need. Exactly. Okay, so you went to college, right? Well, first off, did you finish, or did you say you got kicked out?
I didn't finish at North Carolina Central. I was a criminal justice major. Got to my major classes, but just didn't finish. One thing led to another. Ended up joining the military, and in the military, you have to do what you have to do. I was a pretty good soldier, so I took advantage of all the advantages. When I got into the military, I did have a mentor, and that was I had a couple of mentors, and they taught me that military is you gotta know how to play the game. You got to be squared away. Got to be disciplined. They will teach you discipline if they don't teach you anything else.
That's a fact.
So I ended up going back to school, got my bachelor's, University of Maryland, in sociology and admin. Then from there, I went to Trinidad State University and studied public health education. Ended up getting my master's degree there. So.
Okay. So what job title do you hold currently today?
Right now, I'm a health and wellness director. In the military, I was public health, environmental health technician.
Okay.
So I did all the environmental inspections, things like that. And one day, this is back, like I said, back in 1991, 92. This is when HIV was at its height. So one of my bosses asked me, "Hey, did you want to take on the communicable disease program?" So I took that program on, and started learning about STDs, things like that, and going to school, mentoring youth, where I was, I started talking to youth, especially our community, minority youth, on behavior modification, things like that. So when I actually took my master's degree, and you had to do a thesis, of course, at the end to graduate, my thesis was my first business, which was Hope, helping other parents educate. So I was teaching parents on sexual education, and everybody has to have a niche. My niche was teaching abstinence education, comprehensive abstinence education, right?
Okay.
Basically refraining from sex, but at the same time teaching responsible behaviors like wearing condoms, learning how to say no, things like that. So one thing led to another. Going from communicable disease and public health led to health and wellness. Sleep, activity, nutrition is what you teach now, and so doing that in and working with us, the Black community, and also the military community, and also civilians as well, on all the aspects of fitness. Just trying to preserve ourselves as we get older, because, like I said, COVID is not necessarily COVID, the disease itself killing people. It's the comorbidities. You know what I mean?
No,
And
that makes so much
those
sense.
are other illnesses like diabetes, high blood pressure, and those are the things in the Black community that has plagued us. And so that's what I'm basically trying to do, is help us, help the military, help everybody basically.
That's dope. That's
And of
dope. I
course,
like
you
that.
probably, I can go all day and talk about it. So
Hey, go all day. That's what we want.
passionate about it,
That's what we want. Okay, so all right, so you are now in a position where you are kind of over a bunch of, I'm sure there's different professions in your building, but when I think of the health and wellness center, as far as the army side, I always think of nutrition, dietitian, and all that stuff, right? Is that the primary, like, I guess, job title as far as the people that you manage in your area or in your building?
Gotcha. That's a good, excellent question. I'm glad you mentioned that first off, because the Army, like all of us probably know, the Army's kind of behind the times in terms of exercise, things like that. We know
Definitely.
constantly doing, like I said, you in how many years?
I was in 9 years.
There you go. Of course, doing, sit-ups every single day, running every single day, breaking down your knees, depriving you of sleep, depriving you of water, to make you tough, doesn't go with science, right? So now our Army wellness centers, when we used to, years back, we used to do you'll see us at little fairs doing the blood pressures, tobacco cessation, things like that. Now the Army Wellness Center has morphed into a performance optimization lab, which means we're trying to get you into the best shape you can be in. So we're going to do, in addition to, talk about your blood pressure, you do nutrition, activity, and sleep. We're also going to do fitness testing. We're going to do body composition testing, how much body fat you have on your body. We're going to do metabolic testing, seeing how many calories your body's burning. We're doing VO2 testing, testing your oxygen consumption, how much oxygen your body intakes, things like that. So we're trying to optimize the soldier individually and put them in the best shape they can be in.
Okay. So from the civilian side, and I got you, Dane. But from the civilian side, right? Like, well, we have all these resources to help soldiers, right? Like the military, they put it in front of our faces, but soldiers don't really bite on it, right? But what can we do? Like, is there a resource out there for civilians that could maybe potentially provide the same type of service that you do at your center?
Oh yeah, it's services out there. You have Orange Theory Fitness, kind of expensive, but
Say it
they
again. I'm sorry. What was it?
Orange Theory.
Orange Theory. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a workout center. What they do when you come in, you have workout sessions, and they'll put a workout session up. Some CrossFit centers are good, but they specifically train to your heart rate. So they'll actually give you a heart rate strap, and as they're going through the exercises, they're tracking your heart rate on screens above the center. So it's pretty fun. It's exciting, but you actually get to see where your heart rate is as far as exercise. Because one thing that soldiers would do, civilians would do, we'll go work out at the gym, and I'm sure you guys look like you guys are in shape. You go work out at the gym, and you may be tracking your heart rate, maybe not, or you get on the treadmill and put your hands on the monitors, and my heart rate is at 200 beats a minute. I'm really working out, right? But at 200 beats a minute, are you 5 seconds from a heart attack?
All right.
Or have you overtrained to where your heart rate is beating too fast and you're not taking time to recover because you're thinking, oh, if my heart beats beating this fast, I'm really working out, which is not always the case.
I was
So
about to say 200 sound kind of
It
extreme,
is.
don't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
190. It could be as low as 175. That could be your max heart rate, right? But you could be trying to work. You put your hands on the meters, and all of a sudden you see 180. Say, 180. I'm really putting in some work. But like I said, you're at the point you're overtraining. Right?
Okay, real quick. I got one more, bro. He said something. I just want to
No, you
ask real
good.
quick. So as far as heart rates, right? Does the I guess the speed of your heart rate change with the speed of what you should aim to keep your heart rate at? Does it change with your level of fitness, or is it like okay, this is your body type, this is how your body performs, and this is what you should strive for always?
Excellent question. You sound like one of our clients. All right.
Mhm.
And one thing we do, like the staff that I have, all my staff are certified personal trainers.
Mhm.
One difference between us and your regular, we'll say gym rat, you go into the gym and you'll see a list of personal trainers that, hey, you can get a free training session, is we are health educators, which means we're trying to change your behavior as opposed to just telling you, hey, lift
What to do? Yeah.
5 pounds 10 times a day. We're actually trying to
Gotcha.
send you out, sit down with coaching. When you ask questions like that about heart rate, like I said, a lot of people think I'm just going to go as hard as I can, but there's different heart rates if you want to work for endurance, right? I want to work out longer. I want to be able to run farther, or if you want to burn simple calories, right? Like, hey, I'm going out here and I'm gonna burn 700 calories, but how much fat did you burn in burning those calories? And that's
So it's
what
goal oriented. Okay.
goal oriented and keeping your heart rate at a certain rate. And when you sit down with one of us, like I said, we're also counselors, health coaches, where we'll explain those to you. So when you go to the gym, we make it easy, right?
Gotcha.
And like I said, we can, there's a lot of science behind it, but our goal is to make it as simple as possible, so the person can go out and execute, do what they need to do.
That's dope.
Okay. All right. So how important is it to have like a metabolic test done, like before you do any type of like I guess strenuous exercise, or before you go into a journey to increase your health and fitness?
Well, you go, like I said, taking a metabolic test is going to tell you how many calories. Like I said, these are things before I got into this field that I kind of knew, but I really didn't know. And with our educators, we always tell them, say, hey, if you have any questions, we're here to answer your questions, because like I said, that's what we went to school for, it's what we study for. But we're also myth busters. You know what I mean? When I say that, you probably guys familiar with bro science.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. What your bro told you. Hey, eat peanut butter. We heard everything. Eat peanut butter jelly sandwiches at night. Help you gain weight. Taking all these supplements that you don't need. Everything. So we try to dispel those myths. You see something on the internet late night or whatever when you're scrolling, and you see you can take this pill and you can lose 5 pounds in a week. You know what I mean? Or 5 pounds in a day, right? And you will lose the weight. However, once you go back to whatever you're doing, regular diet, boom, weight comes right back on. Usually we can tell you that it's water, or either you might be
water
losing,
weight.
yeah, you might be losing muscle tissue. All right.
Okay.
So to get back on the metabolic question, basically it's going to tell us how many calories you're burning. Like right now, all of us are burning calories at a slow rate, but you're burning calories. So if you go to a personal trainer, and we see it all the time, I never say you have a bad personal trainer. I always say you have a great personal trainer or you have a good personal trainer. And he may tell you, all right, Tyler, I want you eating 1,500 calories. You know what I mean? Go out and do these exercises, da-da-da-da-da. We have people come in and we ask them how they feeling, what kind of workout they're using with their personal trainer. And you'll get, man, I am exhausted, I'm tired all the time, can't stay awake. And come to find out that 1,500 calories is what you burning on a daily basis based on your metabolism. We test you for that. But he told you to eat 1,500, so you are not getting enough calories for the workout. We always say you have to eat to burn, not to taste. So sometimes you may have to eat a little more than you think to fuel that workout in order to lose the weight.
That makes sense. Okay, and so for people now I was about to say real quick, and you can jump in. For people who aren't near a military base or can't, don't have access to a military base and these facilities, man, just do the research, man. Google knows all. You know what I mean? Like just put in on your Google search bar, a place where I can, get my metabolic what is it, resting rate
Yeah, basal.
calculated.
You
You know what I
say
mean?
basal metabolic rate.
Exactly. So yeah, just do yourself a favor, man. Do a little research and find what's near you, so you can apply it to you in your situation. All right, go ahead, bro.
And I'll say with that too is also like calculators available online where you would put in like your baseline information, like your age, height, current weight,
Yep.
and like your activity level, and it'll give you like an estimate of your rate as well. So you can find the information. Exactly. Yeah. So do you guys like specialize? Like, what's your thing? Is it like I guess optimum performance, or is it just like maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or is it really just up to the person coming in, like what lane they choose to go into?
Good question. I would say it's levels.
Mhm.
If somebody's coming in and they may be out of shape,
Mhm.
first we got to get you to, like I said, healthy lifestyle. Then we'll have rangers come in. We'll have guys in special forces. We'll have fitness competitors.
Hey, so for y'all who don't know, I ain't trying to cut you off. Rangers and special forces, these cats are like top tier army. They're cream of the crop. They're usually the most fit people in the service, and that's across all branches. So when he says army, or when he says rangers, special forces, these are like the top tier cats, man. The guys that are in tip top condition or shape.
Oh yeah, thank you for
Just
that.
go ahead,
Yeah,
just for
the ones you
audience.
see in the movies.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yep.
Those guys. So we train those guys too. But like I said, it's levels trying to get you to a healthy lifestyle. And we have, like I said, our educators that I have different backgrounds. So we may have a elderly couple come in, and I may refer them to say one of them name is Danica. I'll refer you to Danica because she specializes in geriatric health, things like that. So we have one guy that's a former run coach. I got one educator, and would be probably a good person to have on your podcast because she's a former Olympic hopeful. Right, she was on. Performed in Olympic trials. University of Georgia graduate, and she specializes in women's health.
UGA.
Okay. Oh yeah.
We definitely gotta have her on, man. Go Dogs, man. Definitely.
Oh, man.
I got the hat on right now, just backwards.
She's probably watching the game now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We on a bye week this week, but yeah, definitely.
Oh,
okay. All right. So, what are some key? Because I remember you saying, you guys are educators as well. As far as the the health, nutrition, in that industry. What are some of the key topics that you guys push? I guess what are the most inquired about topics that people ask you guys to teach about?
Man, you got good questions. I love these questions. Probably the biggest thing is diet. Now, what we are not registered dietitians. All right, like I said, we health educators, but all of us have a vast knowledge of nutrition. So we give you the basic nutrition. We try not to get in too much into their lane, but we will talk about, like, for example, my crusade. I'm having a crusade against sugar, right?
Okay.
And I'm a food conspiracy theorist. So it's a lot of stuff that the media tells us about food, the Food and Drug Administration, a lot of things that we've been doing for years that we need to change that we're not changing. So I try to alert people on that, like diabetes and sugar, how much sugar.
Are you a vegan?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I just gotta ask.
Hey, man, gotta have his steak.
I got some ribs in there now.
And I just threw a steak on the grill, man. So now I don't blame you, man.
All right, there you go. You're gonna get some protein, get some good source of protein.
Sir.
All
okay.
Right? But and I tell people right off the bat, you don't have to be a vegetarian. Don't have to just eat meat. I mean, we can eat meat. However, I would tell everybody minimize the amount of red meat that you eat.
Okay.
Because Americans eat too much red meat. We lead the world in colon cancer, and we're having and like I said, we don't necessarily digest meat in our system properly. So I tell a lot of people, like I said, I'm just trying to break simple habits. If you're gonna eat that steak, chase it with a vegetable.
Got you. Oh, definitely.
Some broccoli, greens, or something like that, because that roughage in your system will help get that out. Food that go in need to come out.
The fiber, add fiber to it.
There you go. Get that fiber content in, so you can get the food in. It can digest. The body will take the nutrients it needs and get the food out.
Okay, that's dope. I appreciate it.
So, what are like, I know you said that you guys aren't registered like dietitians, but what are some simple, key things people could do to, have a well-balanced diet? If you can, kind of expound on that, what's your thoughts on that is?
I would say, of course, eat a balanced diet.
Mhm.
Cut the sugar. Cut as
Yeah.
much sugar as you can. They say sugar is as addictive as cocaine. Sugar is ravaging us. For example, the recommended daily allowance for sugar is 27 grams, and that's 6 teaspoons. So
I
you're
probably
gonna
put
put
that
2
in
in
my
your
cup of
coffee. You're
coffee.
gonna put there you go. You're gonna put
That's
some in
crazy.
your cereal, and carbohydrates are is glucose, which is your stored energy, which will
Mhm.
turn to sugar.
Yeah.
But if we're doing, sodas, if we're doing sweet tea with the refills, like I know myself, that's one of my weaknesses, sweet tea.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, and if I'm
Cool,
at
bro.
Popeyes or somewhere and I'm inside, it's a refill. You can suck a sweet tea down in 5 seconds, but how much sugar are you putting in
Mhm.
your system? Right? It's
I
not
feel like that's the simplest way to consume sugar is by drinking it. So
uh,
I like to. I try my best to drink as much water as possible. Well, I got a bottle here, so
Yeah,
I feel like
same
that's a
here. Got
lot
one
too.
right here.
Drinking water, whole foods. That's a big thing I'm on. And like you said, not too much red meats. I don't know if that sounds pretty well balanced. On your thoughts, but that's kind of
yeah. Meatless Monday. That's one thing. My wife's from Alabama,
uh
Mhm.
so and we can eat, at the house. So it's usually, hey, pull out some meat to cook. So what I convinced them to do is we do Meatless Monday, where Monday no meat, maybe a salad, um,
Okay.
beans is a good source of protein, things like that you can use instead of necessarily meat all the time. So that's
Okay.
one way to cut it out.
That's a good
Also,
idea.
sodas. If you can cut sodas. I'm doing a plug for these spring waters here.
Okay.
Like I said, they carbonated, so they put the bubbles in there, so it gives you that soda taste. But basically, it's just water with some nutrients in there, a little bit of sweetener, and good to go. You can lose 5 pounds in 15 to 20 days if you just cut out sodas.
See, I don't even drink soda like
Yeah, I
that.
can't even drink
I
it.
probably
It
get
throw me off.
I probably get 1 can a month. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
Okay, so
High fructose corn syrup,
Mhm.
flavoring, and water.
Got you. Okay. All
That's
right,
all it is.
perfect. So I read that you guys do a health assessment before putting together a plan for each individual that you guys are creating a plan for. All right. So like what does that health assessment entail? Like what all do you guys check? What all do you guys, look for when doing that initial health assessment?
Oh, another good question. Exactly. And like I said, we see it all the time. We have a lot of trainers. Somebody will come in and they'll immediately, they'll talk to them and they'll immediately start a workout. Or I think you may need this. When you come into the wellness center, we have you fill out a health and wellness tracker, and basically in that tracker, it's going to track your activity. How many times
Okay.
you're working out a week on your own? It's going to track your sleep. How much sleep you get? How much sleep you guys get?
I get about 6 hours a night.
6 to 7.
6 to 7. All right, that's
Yeah.
the minimum, the bare minimum, 6
Yeah.
hours, right? And
Okay.
sleep is a whole nother subject we're going to, but we get you sleep because everything recovers in your sleep. I'm horrible at sleep. I'm about 6 hours. And number one reason, I just don't go to bed. Just go to bed.
Right, that's me.
Yeah,
I feel I be feeling like I'm missing out on something. I feel
yeah,
like I
there
could
you
be
go.
being
call
more
my-
productive doing something else, man.
I call myself being nosy because I got to figure out is there something else I could be doing?
I'm telling
Right?
you, that's me. That's me.
And you guys listen to Eric Thomas?
I do.
All right.
Definitely got his album on my phone right
So
now.
he'll say sleep is for suckers, right? But what he really means is getting up before everybody else to grind. You know what I mean? Of course, get your sleep and get your recovery, but don't sleep till 11 or 12.
Exactly. Okay.
You
So
know
go
what I
to
mean?
sleep earlier, basically.
Go to
On the
sleep
last time I
earlier
had the
to
luxury
get up
to
at
sleep
to
that late.
get up at 4 o'clock so you can beat everybody
Yeah.
at the day. But get that sleep. Got to get sleep.
Yeah.
And we
4:30,
talk
that's my
about your
time.
nutrition and your stress and your sleep. So like I said, that mental health, you mentioned mental health on another podcast, but that's very important too.
You said stress in your sleep? What is that?
Stress and your sleep. Sorry.
Oh,
about that.
and your sleep. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I
okay.
get on the road.
I got you. Okay. All right, cool.
Okay. So when you're counseling someone or creating a plan for a desired outcome, do you factor in their their consistency? I guess, how many times they plan on, coming in, working out, and also their emotional, factor as well. Like, how does that all tie in when you're doing your initial assessment?
In that assessment, we there's a model, and it's called the model of like pre-contemplation. So we try to figure out when we're talking to a client to see where are they on their fitness scale. Pre-contemplation. Are you thinking about it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not thinking about it? Are you thinking about it and I'm getting ready to do it? Or am I already doing it? Or I'm already doing it, but I need to improve better. So once we talk to them through that assessment and figure out where they are, we know what type of coaching we're going to give them. Because the one positive and a negative is that if you come into our shop, you sit down for an appointment, you get an assessment, we get all your numbers, and we send you out with a plan. We don't go out with you and actually train with you. Once we give you that plan, we want you to come back in 20 to 30 days so we can actually see if there was any type of improvement, because we're not out there. So hopefully my educators can get through to you and make it sound like a plan that's feasible for you. And that's why I talk about breaking habits, because you got to break the habits, replace a bad habit with something else, small step, so we can continue to build on and make it a lifestyle.
Okay.
That's dope. That's dope. And research I did a couple months back, man, realizing that it takes approximately 65 to about 90 days to build a habit, whether it's good or bad. So
there you go.
I always tell people, man, just aim for that. Just do something consistently every day, even if it's small, for the span of 65 to 90 days, and you've created a habit for yourself, right? Whether it's good or bad. So all right, so let's get into stress management, man, because I know stress has a lot to do or a lot to do with the body, right? And how the body performs. Can you talk about like the management of stress and how it affects you as a person and your physical abilities?
We one thing that we do at the Wellness Center, we do stress class, right, to teach you like the basics of stress, and then we also do biofeedback. You guys meditate?
I just started.
I need to
recently
do it more.
I'm talking within the last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just recently started.
Yeah, I do it when I get stressed out, but I need to do it consistently though.
You got to do it. So we have some sessions called biofeedback, and like I said, a lot of civilian places are now doing biofeedback also. Well, basically, it's heart coherence, where we're trying to get your breathing in coherence with your heart.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of us carry stress all day long. I was one of them. That's why I love teaching the stress class, because I was Mr. High Strung, Mr. Be All You Can Be in the military. And when you, because you guys heard of adrenaline, right?
Of course.
Like I give you a quick class on stress. All right. Do you guys like roller coasters?
Hate rides.
I ain't a fan.
I hate all
You're
rides.
Not a fan? You hate all rides?
I do.
So when you go, you guys hate roller coasters. I like roller coasters. All right. So when you getting in that line in the amusement park, if somebody can coerce you or trick you into getting into the line, how do you feel? Or how do they feel when they say, "Hey, we're going on a roller coaster"? How your body feel?
Oh, I get nervous. Like I
get tensed up. Yeah, definitely.
You get tensed up, and you're not even on the ride.
Not even on the ride.
You're just talking to you. So what your mind has did, your body has actually taken over your mind, and your body is now the mind, where you're getting this feeling, this tense feeling. All of a sudden now your heartbeat starts beating a little bit, right? You're not even on the ride, right? So you like fast cars? What excites you?
What excites me? Business.
Yeah. Business excites you?
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that excites me nowadays.
Right. So what do you feel like when somebody starts talking business and how you can go into another venture?
Yeah, my heart start beating a little faster. I start getting excited. You know what I mean?
Same feeling.
It's adrenaline.
It's the same. It's adrenaline, right? But what happens is when your adrenaline, like I said, that's adrenaline. And when you don't want to get on that roller coaster ride, you start feeling the heart rate, that's cortisol. Both of those start rising and falling, rising and falling. The problem is humans, they stay there. You guys watch National Geographic? You ever see the tiger get ready to chase the gazelle or chase the deer? Right? So that deer, and they duck down and they take off running. The deer is now in fight or flight or freeze, right? But once they dodge the lion, they go back to the brook and they start drinking water. So the cortisol and the adrenaline all comes down. The problem with us is it doesn't come down. You're thinking about business all day, right? And so your heart is jumping, you're excited, da 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 da, the adrenaline's up. Problem is when the adrenaline stays up there and you don't take that time to bring it back down, then the stress builds up day after day after day. It can get stressful, right? Trying to make moves every single day. So, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. However, the adrenaline and the cortisol, they can't stay up there all day. You got to be able to bring it down and cut loose. The problem is with society, we don't turn it off. You come in the house, you got to check your emails. You got to see if somebody else is who else is next on the podcast. You got to check your emails. You got to do invoices.
That's a lot too.
Everything. You got to do something all day long, right?
Definitely.
So all day long, if we don't take the time, you can check your phone, got to go through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right? When do we take the time to turn off everything? And
basically, you're saying we're constantly being stimulated and we never decompress.
And we never
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Never decompress. That gazelle that missed that lion, in 2 seconds, they back at the brook like it never happened. Right? Watch it. And with us, it doesn't. You're thinking about another podcast next week. You're thinking about the podcast from last week. What can we do? And your brain is going. Somewhere in there, because the brain hasn't caught up with technology, we got to decompress. We got to turn it off. But what do?
Meditate to do that, right?
Meditate, all right? But we turn it off with false fixes. We call them false, and that's, like I said, I try to break it down as simple as possible.
Okay.
But it's false fixes. It's a cigarette, right? Form of meditation. Glass of wine. Got to come home, have that glass of wine, right? At our house, a glass of wine will become a bottle. So we have to.
That's me.
That thing up.
I'm telling you, I love wine. Go ahead, though.
It could be anything. It could be the TV, right? We come home, first thing we do is turn the TV on. Sometimes all you want to do is hear it. You ain't even watching it. You know? And that's just what it is. You're taking something to take you away, or it could be that greasy Domino's pizza. And like I said, at the Wellness Center, we are all regular people also, greasy Domino's pizza, garlic bread,
ice cream,
cups, you know what I mean? All the we call them mood foods. All the foods high in carbohydrates to spike your sugar. And they give you that effect all over again. You know what I mean? And then it's a repetitive cycle. So going back to, and like I said, I can go all day. Going back to meditation, when you sit there and it may not even be turning the lights off, putting your legs in the square and doing this thing right here. It could be just turning off everything and just sitting there.
Just quiet. Yeah.
1 minute, 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes seem like, if you haven't meditated, 5 minutes seem like forever.
I fall asleep.
You want to check your watch while you're sitting there. And you fall asleep.
And I'll be falling asleep. And one thing that, because I had trouble when I first started, because I took a class on it a while back, but one of the things I had trouble with when meditating when I first started, man, was trying to like get my brain to like stop thinking about stuff. And so what my instructor was telling me is, listen, it's impossible to not think about anything, because you just have to redirect your focus. And so you focus on your breathing, so you're not thinking about all the other stuff that's, you know what I mean, that's on your mind. So yeah, so if y'all are out there, man, and y'all do want to, pick up meditation, which I recommend highly, focus on your breathing, focus on that constant rhythm, in and out, man. And
and it's also like some guided meditations as well. Like I go to on YouTube, and like the instructor tell you to
go to YouTube, man.
Picture definitely. Yourself here, use this breathing technique, man. And it kind of just, I don't know, it sends you somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? It gives your mind time to rest, and just, like we said, decompress, man. And
you got to turn it off.
Pause all those stimulants.
Never turn off,
definitely.
Yeah. No, that's
then
dope,
you can tell, if you ever heard the expression, "Hey man, slow down, take a deep breath." That's actually true. If you can just stop and take 10 deep breaths, that can take off probably 3 or 4 hours of stress. Just simple 10 slow deep breaths. 4 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Because the one thing is, a lot of us don't know how to breathe. So I'm telling you, I can go all day.
Come on, man, we here. We here.
Listen, you're dropping game right now, man. Go ahead.
How long can you live without food?
Was it like 3 days?
3 weeks? I think it's some weeks.
About food, 30 days.
Yeah.
Oh, 30 days. Okay. I'm thinking about Water then, right?
Water like
Water's like
7
a
days.
week,
Water.
right?
How
Something
long
like
can you
that.
live? How long can you live without water?
I
Like a
wanna say
week or something like that.
Oh, 7 days, 7 to
yeah,
14 days. How long can you live without breath?
What?
2
However, what?
minutes.
2
I don't know.
minutes?
Oh, 2 minutes. 2 minutes is you good. You in magician range.
Oh no, that I can't do it that long. I'm saying like the best that can hold their breath. Yeah.
There you go. Well, we'll say 2 minutes. They actually banned the police chokehold, not because a lot of us were getting victimized by it, but it causes brain damage within 30 seconds to a minute if they hold it too long.
Mm.
Wow.
So what happens with us is, and I'm just giving you an extreme example, but when we get excited, all of a sudden the breathing gets choppy, right? But if you're not taking full breaths, you're not getting full oxygen capacity to your brain,
Mm.
and you're not getting full oxygen capacity to your extremities, get the blood flowing, things like that. So when we get excited, you got to stop and breathe, because if you don't, you're going to have a short malfunction or a short circuit of the brain, and you end up doing something. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you get excited, or all of a sudden, God dang it, and you cut somebody out because you're excited and you
That's
can't
me.
calm it down. Subconscious done took
Makes
over.
sense.
Now you're not breathing to calm yourself down, out of a situation. So it's simple as that. 10 deep breaths.
And-
We always start there,
yeah.
and then we start moving on into the like the meditation about falling asleep, things like that. So
And since you said that, like that kind of just hit me because, like, I'm one of them guys that's like I'm either here or I'm way up here because, like, I'm so mellow. You know what I'm saying? But it's like once that switch is hit, I'm gone. And then once I have one of them moments, like I notice, like I be extremely, and I just go off like on a rant. You know what I'm saying? But once I'm done, it's like I'm extremely tired. Like I just ran a marathon. You know what I'm saying? But now that you say that, I realize like I'm not getting my proper, breathing in, during that time frame, just going off, and cutting off my supply really. So I'm glad you say that now. So
It's like a chemical reaction, kind of.
yeah.
And what meditation does, like I said, you're gonna keep thinking for, like I said, if you did it a week, oh man, you're gonna be thinking. It's gonna be 30 seconds. You're gonna be like, is it done yet? You're gonna be asking yourself, it's time to get up, or you fall asleep. But what that's gonna do is it's gonna slowly, over time, it's gonna slowly change your function to change your brain to thinking consciously. You know what I mean? How they say think about the breathing.
Mhm.
So what that's gonna do, what's your name? I forgot again.
Daryl.
The technician, Daryl the technician. All right. When Daryl went, before you go off, your brain is gonna say, hold up, do I need to go off?
It'll give
Right
you
at that moment.
start training to have that time gap, like
Yeah, you're
before
gonna have a time
instead
gap.
of just
Exactly.
reacting.
It's gonna be a
Okay.
time gap instead of just reacting. Time
Mm.
gap right there, because you're gonna become conscious of what's going on.
Mm.
And that's what
Okay.
meditation is going to do. Then, like I said, you start your deep breathing or whatever. And if you happen to go off, your brain will stop yourself and say, "Hey, right now you're going off."
Instead of just going through the motion.
Instead
Okay.
of just going through
Yeah,
the whole thing.
you have that awareness. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna bring awareness and bring you into your consciousness.
Mm.
That's dope, man. See,
Oh, we're getting
we
deep
getting a
now.
whole science lesson. I love
Hey,
it, bro.
we don't
I
have
love
some
it.
dope episodes a day.
I'm telling you, man. These past yesterday and today. Listen,
Yeah.
I feel bad for the cats that come after y'all, man. Y'all
But
really
I
put some
tell
bars
them,
out, man.
we human too. We go through the same thing. I do this stuff, man. Like I said, I'm in here meditating because I done lost it, And like I said, back in the day, I done spend some time, downtown because of reacting,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all on it.
I got you.
We don't have moments like that, man. But it's all right though.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
things
yeah.
we did in the past don't
Make you
determine who we
stronger.
are today, man.
Yep.
That's all.
Yeah.
It's all it is, man. All right, so what are the common mistakes that people make when they come to see y'all, man? Like when they're working with y'all, you know what I mean? You may give them a plan, and it may be a very detailed plan, but they may fail to do one thing or another. Like what are those common mistakes, so we can kind of give our listeners something to kind of look out for should it arise in their lives.
The biggest mistake, and like I said, it's all of us, man. It's willpower, because it took a lot. Like I said, you didn't gain 50 pounds in a day. It took a while to get there. It started off with 1 pound, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds later. Because you're the last one to know, right? And then it's you get a plan and say, hey, I'm on it, and you go back to doing the same old thing. And like I said, that's all a part of the stress. You'll revert back because the unknown is unknown and unfamiliar. I'm familiar with what I used to do.
Mm.
Come in the house, drop the bags, and I got to catch myself too. Drop the bags, put the stuff down. Whew, take a deep breath. Oh, I got some beers in the fridge. Let me get a beer. Just one,
Yeah.
right? And then, or get that piece of pie, right? Because in the middle of the night
Cereal for me.
is the cereal. There you go. Mood food, right? In the middle of the night, your body will wake you up for that carrot cake in the refrigerator, but it won't wake you up for a carrot.
I never thought about it like
You'll
that.
wake up
That's
out your sleep.
why is that?
I got
Just
one
a
piece of one piece
segue.
of pie left in the refrigerator. Let me
Yeah.
go and nibble. Because like I said, it's the sugar. It's the dopamine effect. Sugar spikes your insulin. It spikes the dopamine. And like you said, you just gotta have it. It's addictive,
That's crazy.
Okay, so
And
willpower, man. Like
and
what?
that's why they lace those carbohydrates, all the fast foods, man, with sugar, maltodextrin, the chemicals, to actually, like I said, I'm a food conspiracy theorist. So we are making that food in the lab so you can eat it over
And want
and
more
over
over it.
and
Yeah.
over and over and over.
It's crazy. Okay, so you spoke on willpower as that being the most common mistake. Do you guys talk about, or do you guys have exercises that could help someone, build that specific thing, or is that something that the person just has to do on their own?
Oh no, we give them tools and techniques because, like I said, the health coaching part, because we're not going out and training with you,
Mm.
then we got to go through behavior change. You know what I mean? Like I said,
Okay.
I'm trying to, when I teach classes, I try to break habits. Hey, give me something simple we can do. Can we switch out cereal for oatmeal? Like I said, can we put down the sodas for some sparkle or some Mio? Can we switch can we start throwing in some green tea? Or hey, can you walk? And that was one of the biggest things that I found out. That was one of the best low stress exercises you can do is walking
Mhm.
and getting your steps in. Because I work at the Wellness Center, but I'm the director, so I'm doing a lot of the admin, doing a lot of the paperwork. So like you said, when you came to my office, I'm sitting if I'm not standing with my stand up desk. But to get that 10,000 to 5,000 to 15,000 steps a day is crucial. It's going to help your body because we were always meant to move. We were never meant to sit,
Mhm.
And we have to keep moving to keep that metabolism going, because you can work out in the morning for an hour, come back and sit all day at work. Man, I had a great workout this morning, and flush that workout down the drain because your metabolism slowed all the way down because you're not moving. So we got to move.
Okay,
So,
that's
yeah.
dope.
Okay, so let's see. What have you ever considered being like an entrepreneur, like maybe branching out on your own one day and maybe starting your own center, or however you may look at being an entrepreneur in your field, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like I said, I started doing personal development work probably 2015, 6, 7 years ago. And like I said, my goal is to be like you guys one day, have my own platform. And like you mentioned before, there's not a lot of civilian places that's doing exactly what we're doing. So,
It's not.
you have to just, like I said, get motivated, because I can, you want to say like you're sitting on a gold mine, where we can do the testing, um, to let you know where your numbers are. And then from there, program your workouts based on your own numbers. And there's not a lot of places where you can do that, where you can actually get inside the machine, and in 5 minutes we can tell you, all right, you got, because you'll hear somebody, the doctor, tell you, oh, your BMI is at 30%. That means your body shape based on the population is considered overweight. But when you come to us, we can actually tell you how much fat you have on your body compared to muscle mass.
Mhm.
And that's the key right there, because too much body fat leads to everything: high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney disease, just simply based on having too much adipose tissue is what they call it. Too much fat.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, look, we may have to. First off, our platform is your platform, man. If you ever got something to say, let me know. We can have you
I
right back
got you,
on,
bro.
man. So
Appreciate it.
definitely, man. That's definitely. I support everything you do, man. And you came off as a real humble cat, man. So I respect people who come off like that, man. You're in a position of power, and you could have displayed that, but you came to me, or I guess you let me come to you as humble. as you could, man. So I respect it. Anything, you know, you want to get off your chest or anything you want to bring or announce to the public, you're more than welcome to come back to our platform, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
And say that, get that off your chest. All right, man. Oh, but since we talking business, entrepreneurship, and stuff like that, man, if you ever,
see how he rose up out of his seat.
Hey, you know what I mean?
Now.
That adrenaline.
Heartbeat.
Hey, but now since you were talking about, that's something that you would like to do as far as like creating a center that has that type of technology in it, and those type of instructors where you can kind of structure workout plans and just work on just plans in general for different outcomes or different goals. If you ever want to do that, man, hey, let me know. Me and my partner here, we looking for things to jump into as far as investments, man, and we all about stuff that can empower other people, make people feel better and live longer, because this is health, man. This is a part of our mantra, man. We talk life, health, and wealth, and health is a big part of that. So definitely, man, if you ever want to do something, man, let us know and we can
we can talk to
do our
business.
part.
I'm my other profession is real estate investing. Haven't did a lot in Colorado, but I was doing a lot in Atlanta and in Atlanta area. So we can get the building.
Hold on. Let me put the mic up a little bit. Real quick. Hold on. You say real estate investing, right? How long you been in that business?
About 10 years.
Okay, so first off, what got you into it? And I ain't gonna completely, change the topic on the episode, but this is important because, like I said,
it's kind of all intertwined,
Exactly.
I did, like I said, I went to a seminar probably 10 years ago, and a guy laid out the plan in Atlanta, and from there, through the seminar, found a real estate investor, an investment real estate investor. There's a difference, right? And then when I found that, they found me a property, applied for it, got it. And I had that property. Then from there, I got into a business with my buddy, and we actually had four houses at one time. We sold two. I kept the one. I just sold that last year. Because like I said, when I went into it was 2006 during the real estate bubble. So we sold two houses, lost one house because of the real estate bubble, and I still was able to keep the one. And finally, it flipped over. I was able to sell that for a profit last year. So now I'm looking probably next year to look at doing something in Colorado, hopefully.
Okay, so you do. Okay, so you do buy, holds, and then sell, or do you buy,
hold,
rent?
And sell, buy, hold, renovate, sell, buy, hold, renovate, and hold. If it's a good property, I'll just hold on to it. Things like that. Utilize different type of finance.
Okay, so do you have like tenants and stuff as far as like, do you have guys that or gals who rent from you as well, or when you hold, you just kind of holding it on your own?
Oh, when I hold, I put a renter in there. I have like I said, I had one renter for 6 years. That was great, But like I said, once if the equity's good and the price is right, I'll sell. If not, I just continue to hold because they only go up, right now. You just got to be I just know to be conscious of stock market, things like that, rates.
Yeah, definitely.
To make
especially out here in Colorado, because I was quoted a price in the house I'm in right now. We actually rented. We renting with this from this program. They actually give you the option to buy it at the end of your lease, and we're not gonna buy it, but they had this thing where they put like an equity calculator as far as like time with the time value of how long we're gonna be in the house, and over the span of a year. This house went from being worth they bought it at $415, and they're saying that they're gonna be able to sell it at like $530 in the span of a year.
That's on crazy. The low. That's on the low. I'm getting ready.
That's on the low end.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to sell a house now.
Wow. Hold on. You said that's on the low end. What you know that we don't know, man? I'm thinking 115,000 in a year is amazing.
Oh, that is amazing. Yeah. Like I said, that is amazing because now it's a buyer's market. Everybody's moving to Colorado Springs. So now is the time. But in real estate investment, you got to now it's time to find like a foreclosure because the price is sky high. So you got to find something that you got to renovate. Yeah. Unless because you always want to make the equity. You don't just want to buy a house. Like, for example, when I was in Hawaii, I got with this real estate group. And of course, the houses in Hawaii, everything is almost $1 million now, even your shacks, because it's so expensive. So what they do, even though they're in Hawaii, they reinvest, buy, flip, hold, renovate, whatever it is, in the States. Places like Ohio, Baltimore, where you can buy
super cheap
3-4 bedroom houses, 20,000, 30,000, and turn it back over, because now the big market is revitalizing neighborhoods. You know, so we want to get in, where they getting in. That makes sense.
No, that makes sense. And with those foreclosures, you almost buy into equity. So when you purchase it, you're buying the positive equity in it anyway, because it
you want to have some equity, because you may have to, because you always may have to, if something should happen, repairs, things like that. Like, for example, you got to know, like, the price of wood went up like 100%.
Went crazy like a few months ago, wasn't it? Like earlier this year. Yeah.
Just for wood, and it just went up just like that. So those are things that you may have to take some equity out the house, to actually fund it if you got enough equity in it. So we always try to find houses that at least have, $50,000 to $100,000 worth of equity off the bat.
Do y'all play the refi game? Take refinance, take the equity out, put it into another property, or do y'all?
We did when I first started. I mean, like I said, people still do that, but I use a different type of financing now. Use lines of credit, so I don't really have to do that. That's a different way of financing, which we should have been doing that 10 years ago instead of buying a house. See, now we're going to a whole nother. We can go all day.
Hey, listen, I was about to say we might have to have you on again for just real estate investing, in itself, man. And I don't want to hold you too long because we did schedule you for an hour, man. But hey, first off, appreciate the initial.
Appreciate the time.
Definitely appreciate the initial knowledge you gave us, and I always love the financial knowledge that I get, man, from anywhere. So I appreciate that as well.
I'm trying to learn from you guys, because you, like I said, you doing it. Anybody that's doing it, I'm with them. You know what I mean?
Hey, love it.
Appreciate that, man.
Definitely, man. All right, man. So listen, again, thank you for coming on to the show, man. Again, you're welcome back. And anytime you feel like you got to get something off your chest, man, please let me be your first contact. All right, because we respect your voice. You're a Black prominent figure in the community, whether that's my community back home and they don't even know you yet, or just anyone that's listening, man. So we definitely respect your voice and what you're doing, man. And if you have anything to say, like I said, man, just come on, hit us up.
Come on back on the show, man. I made a few notes, and
please
get ready to take some stuff off the shelf. I put that on the shelf.
Hey, do it, please. All right, man. You got anything for him, Dink?
Nah, man. Well, just real quick, if you could give us and the audience, like just final thoughts, man, or some words of encouragement, as far as, the different topics we may have hit on, mainly, the nutrition and, fitness, health, well-being topic. Just give us some final words, man, on that, just to, give us some encouragement.
I would say protein and fiber in the morning, right? Cut out the pancakes, the cereal, the orange juice. Try to get the protein and fiber in, eggs, bacon. I ain't gonna never say nothing wrong about bacon. All right, get that in the morning. Get you a big lunch, right? Instead of dinner being the biggest meal of the day, actually make lunch your biggest meal and kind of do a light dinner, so you can go to sleep. The food can be digested. Your body can heal and recover during the night. Hopefully, you're getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So you can flush out all the negative proteins and stuff like that, so your brain will be functioning the next morning and not being like, oh, I can't think. Drink water, walk, move, right? Do yoga,
get active,
keep stretching. Yeah, get active. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep stretching. I do yoga now. Something I never did 20 years ago. Trying to stay limber, things like that. Also, Tyler made a good point about your goals or habits. Trying to break a habit, it takes 30 days to break a habit. But it takes 90 days, like you said, to solidify the habit. In 30 days, you kind of in the groove, but you can always revert. 90 days can lock that in if you are trying to set some goals. So.
Okay.
There you have it, man.
Appreciate it. We appreciate
you have it, man.
Appreciate your time and everything, man.
Oh, appreciate
Definitely. And like I said, you can't end no better than that, man. I appreciate you, man. And listen, this is Uncharted Mind. Tune in for what's next, man. We coming.
We on the way. All right, we signing off.
Peace. Appreciate you.